Hello students, let us move on with the story Daedalus and Icarus. We have learned till Daedalus and Icarus, they have built four large wings to fly away from their prison in the island. Now on the day when they have practiced with their wings for a very long time, and after they had mastered flying with the wings in the sky, then they decided the date and day when they will be flying away. And on the very that very day when they were ready to fly away, Daedalus stopped his son and he gave him some words of warning. Now what were these words? When the day of their departure and flight to freedom dawned, Daedalus cautioned his son. He gave some warning. "Icarus, my son," warned he, "listen with great care to what I have to say, for you will live or die by my words. You have the wings of a bird, but they were not fashioned by the gods. They were made by you and me, and we are nothing but mortal." That means he is warning that be careful about your wings, because your wings are not made by God. They are not natural. They are man-made. We have made them. So they are like one day we are going to pass away, die away. In the same way, these wings are not permanent. They are not fixed with our body. They are made by us, and they can be destroyed like us. "Fly not too low, for the mists of the sea will envelop you, and they will clog your wings, and you may well lose your way." He is advising his son that do not fly too low near to the ocean, because of the mist, the dampness from the water is going to dampen your wings, and also the mist, the fog that the water created, you will not be able to see your way, and it will it is going to make you astray from your path. So you will lose your way in the fog, and also the mist is going to dampen your wings and make them heavy and difficult for you to fly. So do not fly too low near to the ocean. "Fly not too high either, for we have used wax to bind the feathers of our wings. The wax will surely melt if the heat of the sun is too great, and who knows what might happen then." So you are not to fly too high up in the sky near to the heat of the sun, because we have used the wax to stick the feathers. So if we are going near to the sun, the heat of the sun is going to melt that wax on our wings, and now you can just imagine what is going to happen to us if that may happen. "Follow me closely, keep near, and you will be safe." Have you understood this advice? You don't do anything else. You just stay near to me and follow me. What I will do, you will just follow me like that. Have you understood? He asked. "I have, father," replied the boy as he eagerly picked up his wings. "I shall do exactly as you bade me." "Oh yes, I have heard whatever you have said. I have heard everything, and I will do exactly what you have asked me to do." Daedalus assisted the boy in fastening his wings, but his fingers trembled with A perilous journey lay ahead of them. Perilous, dangerous. So, he was father, Daedalus was the father, and he was having a very bad feeling, and he was afraid that he is going to leave his son on his own in the sky, and he didn't know what was going to happen to his son. So he was having a kind of anxiety, a worry about his son, because they were about to take a very dangerous journey. As he took up his own wings, he glanced lovingly at the boy. His eyes filled with tears when he realized that he might never see his son again. Now Daedalus was very much worried, and he felt that maybe this was the last time he was looking at his son, and so his eyes filled with tears. Daedalus made his way to the edge of the parapet ahead of his son. He flapped his wings and leapt into the air. He rose up and up, higher and higher into the blue sky. He turned to look as a mother bird would have done to watch her fledgling take to the skies. Daedalus was the first to jump from the balcony into the sky to fly. He flapped his wings and moved high up, and then he turned around and watched his son, just like a mother bird who watches the fledgling, means the baby bird, when she teaches them to fly for the first time. Icarus had learnt his lessons well, for he was soon rising gracefully into the air. Daedalus heaved a great sigh of relief as the boy gained height and followed his path. Now when he found that Icarus had learnt his lessons well and he had followed his father exactly the same way, Daedalus took a sigh of relief. He breathed in relief. Father and son were soon soaring over the fields of the island. Far down below them, they could see the ploughmen and shepherds stop in their work to gaze and marvel at these strange winged creatures of the air. So they were quickly flying over the fields in the island, and then they saw that the farmers and the shepherds who were working in the field, they watched them high up in the sky in wonder, like they have never seen something like that, and they were amazed to see the farmers and the ploughmen, the shepherds who were working on the fields. "Behold, it is Apollo," cried a shepherd in awe as they swooped by. As they flew, a shepherd cried out in amazement that, "See, it is the Apollo." Apollo is the son of the Greek god Zeus, and also the son of light in Greek mythology. "Yes, yes," replied his friend excitedly. "It is indeed Apollo, and see, he is followed by Cupid." Cupid, another Greek god of love. So another shepherd replied that, "Yes, yes, this is exactly Apollo and Cupid, the Greek gods who are flying," because they had no imagination that humans could fly. So they thought that indeed these were the gods who were flying in the sky. Father and son flew on farther and farther till they were over the sea. Daedalus chuckled as he winged over the blue waters and watched the ships far below. So soon they were over the sea. They cleared the island, the land part, and they were flying over the sea. Daedalus looked down and found the ships in the ocean, and he laughed in delight, actually in happiness, that they had cleared their way from the prison. King Minos cannot stop us now, my son, he cried in joy and turned to ascertain the position of his son. But Icarus was nowhere to be seen. He said that now the king is never going to catch us. And then he turned to look at his son and he found that there was no sign of Icarus. In the celebration of his freedom and his newfound skill, and with every movement of his wings, the youth was now soaring high above his father, heading dangerously closer to the sun. Daedalus circled round and round, casting his eyes below. "Icarus, where are you?" he screamed, but there was no response. Now Daedalus was searching for his son. "Where are you? Where are you?" But he was not to be found when he looked below. Why? Because Icarus had forgotten his father's warnings in his excitement in newfound freedom, and he flew higher and higher towards the sun. And then he looked into the sparkling sky above. When Daedalus could not see him below, so he looked up and found Icarus. He cried with all his might, "Icarus, beware, you fly too high. Remember my words, come down, come down." But the boy did not hear him. He had already gained too much height, and now the wax in his feathered wings began to melt and soften. As Daedalus watched, small plumes began to drop from the wings of Icarus and float in the air. Soon, larger feathers fluttered and became detached and float gently down, down, down. Icarus flapped more vigorously and began to kick his feet in panic, but it was all to no avail. The boy plummeted towards the sea like a dying comet and was enveloped by the blue waters below. All that remained were some feathers floating on the gentle waves. So Icarus had forgotten his father's warning. First the small feathers started to drop down, and then he himself started to lose his height, and gradually he was going down into the sea below from a great height in a very great speed, and ultimately he fell down into the ocean and was drowned, and there was no sign of his body. Only the feathers were floating on the water of the ocean. So this is quite sad ending, and it teaches us that we should not be overexcited. We should not disobey our elders' piece of advice. So these are the things that we learn from this story. And here I am ending the story, and I'll be giving you some questions. Some of the answers I'll be giving, some of the questions you will be answering to. Students, these are some extra word meanings. Along with the book's word meanings, you will write them down in your copy.